All right, we're diving deep into the Mississippi Delta today, into a place called Oak Hollow. And let me tell you, the air there is heavy. And it's not just from the humidity, it's heavy with secrets. This is a place where the sins of the powerful are just buried in the swamp, never supposed to see the light of day.
And this is where our story really kicks off, with this one desperate plea from a woman named Adeline. She's kneeling in the dirt, and her life, along with her unborn child's, is just hanging by a thread. This single sentence, man, it just sets the stakes for everything that's about to happen.
So what is this big secret at the heart of Oak Hollow? Well, to really get it, we need to understand the people who are trapped in its web.
Okay, so these are the four people whose lives are completely tangled together. You've got Silas, the blacksmith, a man who used to be free and had it all stolen. There's Adeline, a servant who's carrying a very dangerous secret. Then there's Mistress Evelyn, a woman whose cruelty is really just fueled by her own desperation. And finally, Baron Thomas, the master of the house, who's basically being eaten alive by his own guilt. Their collision is just inevitable.
This line right here, it says everything about Silas. See, years ago, he wasn't enslaved. He was a freeman, had his own shop, his own family. Now he's just stuck, trapped, watching all these horrible things happen on the plantation. And the only thing he has left from his old life is this heavy iron key to a home he can never go back to. It's this cold, constant reminder of the life that was ripped away from him.
And here's the real core of the conflict, this clash of realities. For Mistress Evelyn, an heir is all about power. It's about securing the Oak Hollow fortune for herself. But when she figures out that Adeline is carrying the master's child, the one thing she could never provide, her jealousy just boils over into this cold, cruel plan. She has Adeline banished to the worst part of the estate, a place they call the Breakback Fields, which is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's a place designed to break you.
So as all this tension on the plantation is building to a breaking point, nature decides to get in on the act. A huge summer storm is rolling in, and believe me, it is going to change everything.
And where's Silas in all this? He's in the shadows, watching. He sees Adeline, pregnant and weak, suffering under this sadistic overseer named Galt. And every single crack of that whip, every bit of her pain, is just torture for Silas, because he feels totally powerless. He's still that ghost, just haunted by his own inaction.
And that brings us to the big question for Silas, right? For years, he's done nothing but watch, but something's about to snap. I mean, how much can a person witness before that ghost inside them finally decides to come back to life?
And this is the moment. As Galt goes to strike Adeline, who's collapsed on the ground, something inside Silas just shatters. He stands up, hammer in hand, and his voice, it's low, but it's vibrating with a power that nobody's heard from him in years. It's his first real act of defiance, and with it, he carries Adeline away from the danger, into a collapsing old shack on the edge of the swamp.
So inside this tiny shack, with thunder shaking the whole place and rain pouring in, the baby decides it's time. And suddenly Silas, a blacksmith who forges iron, finds himself trying to bring this fragile new life into a very violent world.
And then, the miracle. When the baby is born, Silas is just stunned. In the light of one little candle, he sees that the child is impossibly white. I mean, not just light-skinned, but with skin like porcelain, hair like silver, and when he opens his eyes, they're this haunting, pale violet color.
Now, in the folklore of the Delta, a child like this isn't just an anomaly. It has a name, a moon child. It's seen as a supernatural event, like a spirit sent to deliver judgment and settle old debts. So this isn't just a baby anymore. He's an omen. And Silas knows, in that instant, that the entire game at Oak Hollow has just fundamentally changed.
So, the birth of this child gives them one weapon in the fight for freedom. But it turns out Adeline has been hiding another one.
You know how it is, word gets around, and fast. Whispers about the moon child spread like wildfire, sparking this frantic hope among the enslaved people. But for every bit of hope downstairs, there's pure terror up in the big house. Mistress Evelyn realizes that a white passing heir could actually be recognized by the Baron, and that would destroy all of her plans. So she immediately starts plotting with her lawyer to get rid of Adeline and the baby for good.
But while Evelyn is plotting murder, Adeline reveals her ace in the hole. Turns out, during her time working in the master's study, she found something. Manumission papers. In a moment of drunken guilt years ago, the Baron had signed papers that would grant freedom to 50 people, including Silas and Adeline, but he never filed them. They're a legal promise of freedom, just sitting there, waiting.
With Galt and his men closing in, Silas and Adeline realize they're out of options. They have to take this fight straight to the source.
After a short, brutal fight, they manage to escape into the swamp, and Silas realizes hiding won't work anymore. Their only shot, their only chance, is to get to the big house and present this white heir to the Baron. His mind is slipping, sure, but his desperate want for a son might just be the one thing that could save them all.
Okay, so picture this. This is the climax. Silas doesn't sneak in, he kicks the front doors of the mansion wide open, right in the middle of one of Evelyn's fancy parties, covered head to toe in mud. Adeline steps forward and shows the child to the Baron, and as the master is just mesmerized by his white son, Silas throws the manumission papers on the table, right next to letters that prove the lawyer's been committing fraud for years. All the secrets are out, forcing the Baron to make one final, devastating choice.
And then 2 final truths come out that just seal the deal. The letters Adeline found, they prove that the lawyer, Sterling, was the guy who orchestrated Silas's kidnapping and enslavement all those years ago. And a search of Evelyn's room turns up vials of arsenic. She wasn't just waiting for an heir, she was trying to become a widow.
You can imagine that confrontation just shatters the very foundations of Oak Hollow. And what comes next isn't just revenge, it's a full-blown reckoning.
In a rare moment of pure, lucid rage, the Baron gives his final orders. The downfall is swift. The lawyer is arrested on the spot, and Mistress Evelyn is stripped of everything and forced to flee in total disgrace. Her reign of cruelty is finally over.
And this is what it was all for. The real result of their fight. Using the baby's new status as the Baron's legal heir, Silas and Adeline get those manumission papers officially filed. 50 people, 50 souls who had been promised freedom long, long ago are finally able to claim it.
Months later, they're on a riverboat heading north. Silas takes out that old iron key he's carried for decades, that symbol of his stolen past. He just looks at it one last time, and then he throws it into the Mississippi. He's no longer a prisoner of what he lost. He's finally free to build a new life with Adeline and the child who made it all possible.
And that really leaves us with this final thought. Oak Hollow was basically an empire built on deception and cruelty and secrets buried in the mud. But in the end, it was the arrival of one impossible child, one single undeniable truth that forced all those secrets into the light and made the entire corrupt system just collapse in on itself.